Everyone. So as you all know, America's defendant, as I call him, Rudy Giuliani, he's in court this week for a trial to determine how much money he owes to Georgia election workers Rudy Freeman and Shaye Moss. They sued him for defamation. The judge already ruled in their favor, and so now the jury just has to decide how much he has to pay them. In opening remarks, Giuliani's attorney told the jury that if they award the $43 million that Moss and Freeman are seeking, quote, it will be the end of Mr. Giuliani. And he referred to it as a death penalty. When the testimony portion of the trial began, Moss and Freeman's attorney shared examples of the threats that they have received over these past few years. And in one voicemail, a man told them that they deserve to be hanged from trees, and he wanted it to be close enough to other people so that the other people could, quote, hear their necks snap. They were cursed at. Of course, there were all kinds of racist and sexist comments made because, I mean, it's MAGA, so water is wet, gravity exists, right? Anyway, Moss and Freeman's attorneys showed the jurors numerous additional examples out of the hundreds of thousands of messages that they have received in social media posts as well, in which they were just mentioned. So they've received social media messages. There's tons of posts about them. One attorney said that Giuliani stole their lives from them by destroying their names. And the attorney described how people showed up at their homes, how they were forced to move, how Freeman had to find a new job. And she was totally humiliated once because a prospective employer recognized her. And he pulled up an online article and asked, are you this woman? Are you the woman who committed election fraud? Moss also lost out on jobs. This is all they say due to Giuliani's lies. So the first witness that was called was a security and risk consultant named Regina Scott. Scott told the jury that Freeman's name first appeared on social media on December 3rd of 2020. So that was the first time that Giuliani accused her of election fraud. Her name now appears on social media, like I said, in hundreds of thousands of posts. This expert also testified that Giuliani has continued to talk about Freeman and Moss. In fact, Scott told the jurors that Giuliani has mentioned them 20 times since July of this year. This is on his nightly YouTube show. In addition, Scott said, quote, the type of violent and racist and graphic material directed at Freeman and Moss was, quote, on a level that we don't see at all in our work. When you combine the volume with the type of content, it's unprecedented. Plaintiff Shaye Moss also testified. She was the next up. At the time of the 2020 election, Moss was an interim supervisor at the Fulton County Election Department. She told the jury how she was super excited after the election. She actually thought she might be getting a promotion and that she might be made a permanent supervisor because her supervisor was very proud of the work that she and her team had done. She also described her pre-election life as, quote, lit and, quote, great. She said that she was always out. She was very sociable. And then she broke down. She started crying, and she told the jury that the election of 2020, that election day, was, quote, the last day I was this bubbly, outgoing, happy Shaye. Everything in my life changed. Everything just flipped upside down. And, quote, I was afraid for my life. I literally felt like someone is going to come and attempt to hang me. And she said her life has changed in every way. She never goes out alone anymore. She had to change her hairstyle so she wouldn't be recognized. She said she has, quote, dark moments. She's gained 70 pounds from stress eating. And she says she cries all the time. Moss also shared her 14-year-old son started receiving these racist death threats on his phone because that was once her phone. She gave him her phone and her old number. And she broke down crying again, and she explained that the messages eventually took a toll on him as well, and he ended up failing all of his classes that semester. And Moss said, quote, "I'm most scared of my son finding me or my mom hanging in front of our house." And then Moss described how Trump's terrorists forced their way into her grandmother's home to try to make a, quote, citizen's arrest, because apparently at one time she lived at that address. And she says she still fears going out in public. She's paranoid about being followed because of these threats and harassment. And it has continued to this day. And Moss told the jury that she has panic attacks and she was diagnosed with major depressive disorder and acute distress. So Freeman and Moss are asking for anywhere between $15 and $45 million. And you would think that would be a wake-up call for Giuliani. But nope, no. As soon as day one of the trial ended, Giuliani went out to talk to the press, and he continued to defame these women. An ABC News reporter asked Giuliani, "Do you have any regrets?" And he said no, because he said, quote, "Everything I said about them is true. When I testify, the whole story will be definitively clear that what I said was true." And quote, "They were engaged in changing votes." Yeah, because you would wait until after you lose to bring your information forth, to bring the evidence to bear. Right. And then Giuliani said, "Oh, I'm going to testify. I have some surprises in store for them." He still claims he has evidence and he's going to show it. This is even though, like I said, he is already at the point where he's been ruled against. The judge has said, "You owe them money. We now just need to decide how much." And remember, he put in writing that, yes, I lied about them. He didn't say it in those exact words, but he said, yes, I made statements that were untrue. So Judge Beryl Howell was pissed when she found out about these comments that he made. So she has now prohibited him from making additional similar statements. And then the judge advised the jury that they can take these latest comments into consideration when they decide on the damages. So that's where things stand as of now. Ruby Freeman was testifying today, so I will keep you updated. I'll let you know what happened with that. And then Giuliani is expected to testify. It'll be either later this week or early next week, because the judge estimated that the trial would be over within about a week. So it's not going to take forever. So we'll see this before Christmas, an early Christmas present. All right. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Donate if you possibly can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.